Broadcasting live, KSLA News 12 starts now.
Good morning. You're watching our weekend edition of KSLA News 12 this morning. It's 8 o'clock and I'm Destiny Patterson. We know that you're probably wondering what's going to be open, what's going to be closed tomorrow, and we're updating our list of closures constantly. As for schools, here's what we have. Northwestern State University, Grambling State University, and Bossier Parish Community Colleges is canceling classes for Monday. Sabine Parish schools will hold classes virtually on Monday as well. So far, that's it, but download both our KSLA News 12 app and the First Alert Weather app for updates on both closures across East Texas and Northwest Louisiana and the forecast. As always, it's your first alert to make you first aware of any changes, and a reminder, you can also share your pictures and videos with us. Just click on Submit Photos at the top of the app. The Chicago in me is pretty excited for this snow.
I hope we don't let you down. You guys actually get some real snow.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if anything sticks.
Right. So we're thinking we'll get some stick in the snow that is forecasted for the ArkLaTex. And some kind of good news if you are anticipating snow. We did get an upgrade to our winter storm watch. We now have a winter storm warning, and that is in place for East Texas here near the I-20 corridor in south, but that now includes Marion County in Texas. Still a warning for all of Northwest Louisiana. Now areas here in that light blue are under an advisory, and what this means in the advisory category, some of these areas could see up to 2 inches of snow. We're still expecting the minimal amounts up north, and then areas near I-20 and southward could now see up to 2 and 4 inches of snow. So let's track that out with Future Track. Going at first, looking at high-res Future Track, kind of overdoing it a little bit with the rain here this morning, but more rain will start to move in this afternoon. That will be one of the first things that we do see, so don't fret if you do see rain at first today. That's expected for your forecast. Here's a look at Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I-30 and northward looking at some rain here in all of Northwest Louisiana, and some of that still in East Texas. But where you see the pink here, that could be a mix of rain, sleet, or snow. And then this purple here, we're looking at temperatures could be cold enough to around 4:30 produce some snow in the very western half of the ArkLaTex, but more so as we go into the late evening hours and overnight hours is when we're expecting this changeover. So here's a look at 9 o'clock with snow forecasted for much of the areas across the ArkLaTex, and that will continue as we head into the overnight hours. That's still what this white and purplish blue looks like. As we head towards 4 o'clock in the morning on Monday, looking at still some snow could be left near the I-30 corridor and still moving out the very eastern half around Natchitoches up towards Bienville and even out towards Ruston, still dealing with that snow. But it looks like around 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday, we will be looking at those clear skies, but not to mention that still want to be likely some accumulations on the roadways. So I want to make sure that you guys are staying first alert on that and watching out for the travel impacts. Now looking at our first alert snowfall potential, thinking about 1 to 2 inches north of Caddo and Bossier Parish, and then areas much along I-20 and southward down towards Mansfield, back towards center could see 2 to 4 inches of rain in this darker blue swath, and areas on the outside likely to stay under 1 inch of snow, but again could see locally or some isolated heavier amounts. The next 12 hours, 35 around noon, about 9. By noon we're looking at 41 degrees, 42 by around 3 with the rain really starting, and then we'll see likely some snow in some areas around 6 to 9, but it looks like temperatures here will still not be quite freezing, so likely to stay with the rain here in the ArkLaTex over the next couple of days. As we head into the next couple of hours, 38 for this morning and low 40s. Highs today only getting into the mid 40s around Shreveport, low 40s in East Texas. Going to be a very chilly day out there and unfortunately a cold rain. We do have a first alert weather day for Monday regarding those impacts on your travel, but by Tuesday, likely some clouds left over, but mostly sunny skies as we go throughout the most of the day. 49 the high on Tuesday, warming up to 54 on Wednesday, 60 by Thursday, and then back in the upper 50s as we head towards the end of next weekend with mostly sunny skies.
Thanks, Jessica. An arrest is made after Texarkana, Texas police say someone in a truck purposely ran over a man walking down the sidewalk. The driver of that flatbed truck then sped away from the scene. Noon today, we've learned the driver, 22-year-old Montavious Sharp, turned himself in to TPD. He's charged with aggravated assault. Police say at around 2 Saturday, the 35-year-old victim was walking on the sidewalk about North State Line Road when Sharp allegedly jumped the curb and his truck struck the victim and then took off. At our last check, the victim is still in critical condition. New information about a fatal crash that shut down part of Highway 171 in Sabine Parish Friday night. The victim is now identified as 22-year-old Zachary Taylor Doobie of Vernon Parish. We've learned he was traveling from Simpson to Bossier Parish when his pickup truck left the roadway and then struck a guardrail. This happened just south of the town of Florian. State police tell us Doobie was not wearing a seatbelt and was thrown from the truck. Roughly 100 people have been arrested for Wednesday's attack at the Capitol. Charlie DeMar spoke to a Chicago area business executive who was arrested and has regrets.
An all-out search is underway for the rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol. From airports to hotels, the FBI and D.C. police are asking for help identifying members of the mob.
We're all trying to get into the Capitol.
Social media is helping expose those responsible for the rampage. Prosecutors arrested Nicholas Ox. They say he's the leader of Hawaii's Proud Boys chapter. A picture posted to Twitter appears to show him smoking a cigarette inside the Capitol. He ran unsuccessfully for state office. This Maryland man wearing a red hat in support of the president had his company badge around his neck, fired after internet sleuths called him out. Libby Andrews lost her job as a Chicago real estate agent after admitting online to, quote, storming the Capitol. She has not yet been charged with a crime.
A Chicago area tech CEO among the dozens arrested in D.C. He's accused of illegally entering the Capitol. He says he regrets his choice, calling it the worst personal decision of his life.
I mean, it was great to see a whole bunch of people together in the morning and hear the speeches, but yeah, it turned into chaos.
Along with federal charges, Bradrook Stallis was fired as CEO of Cogencia, a digital marketing firm.
I had nothing to do with charging anybody or anything or any of that. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I regret my part in that. And that's all I'm comfortable saying.
Were you inside the Capitol?
I was.
Why did you go inside?
The search for those who broke into the Capitol far from over.
A West Virginia state representative was among those arrested after he filmed the protest. He has since resigned. The Department of Justice says it's not pardoning people involved in the riot at the U.S. Capitol. It points to false social media reports making that claim. The DOJ says they're wrong, and it points out its office of the pardon attorney doesn't even have a social media presence. President Donald Trump is expected to make his first public appearance since those protests on Wednesday to mark the completion of 400 miles of his infamous U.S.-Mexico border wall. The president's 2016 campaign focused heavily on his desire to build a border wall, making promises that the Mexican government would pay for it, but U.S. taxpayers have paid that bill. Meanwhile, Trump's colleagues in Congress are weighing whether to impeach the president, and a source close to Vice President Mike Pence says he has not ruled that out yet. The source says the VP is keeping the 25th Amendment as an option in case Trump becomes more unstable. Two other people familiar with the matter say Trump is angry at his VP, while Pence remains disappointed and saddened by him. While tensions at the White House continue, Pence appears to be moving forward with the transfer of power. He will be attending President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. Full Court Press with Greta Van Susteren airs later today on KSLA. Here's Greta with a sneak peek of this week's show.
Today on Full Court Press, I speak to Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal.
On the 6th, there was the most violent and destructive assault on the Capitol since the War of 1812. And these were violent insurrectionists who came in with arms and with the intent to overturn the election. And we should just be very clear. They were incited and fueled and assisted by the President of the United States.
You can watch Greta's full interview tonight following KSLA News 12 at 10. Overseas, Indonesian officials have recovered human remains, personal items, and discovered wreckage from a plane that crashed shortly after takeoff on Saturday. Navy divers found debris and a black box, which they will get from that wreckage. The Boeing aircraft dropped 10,000 feet in less than a minute Saturday before disappearing from the radar. That's according to Indonesia's Minister of Transportation. 26 people were on board, and that search will continue as long as the water visibility remains good.